and welcome to the Work Hates podcast. Everyone has a nightmare work story, whether it's a dreadful boss, an insufferable colleague, or a shitty workplace. And if you've had none of those things, chances are you're the problem.
You are the problem. Today we are joined by comedian, musician, and fucking smartass.
Oh my God, the
Cam
nerve!
James.
The nerve.
Man, I love it. I love bullying. So yes, and finally, because normally I get bullied on this pod, Bronny gets to cop it this time.
Oh, never have I ever had someone stare directly at the side of my face while I'm doing that. I was like, why is he doing? Has he never seen a woman speak before? Because like, what's she doing with her face?
Shouldn't she be doing the dishes or something?
Oh my
This is crazy.
God.
I love it when women talk.
Do you?
I love to watch their mouths move.
You
God,
really
that
love
really got sexy then, dude. Fuck, should you be wearing shorts on this pod? You're going to get an absolute belty of a
I'm
stiffy.
gonna have to
Cross your
my legs at a
legs.
certain point. Jeez Louise.
Just break through the zipper.
No, I love you guys. That's the only reason I'm. You only bully the ones you love.
Oh, it's true. Yeah,
True.
but sometimes you misread it. Like then it's fine. You
Yeah,
can do.
yeah.
But I did a radio interview yesterday. It was with Will and Woody. You know those guys, Kiss FM.
I
Yes.
definitely know the names.
Yeah,
Yes.
good on you.
There's been about 3,000 Will and Woodies though.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah,
they-
Stinger and the Fox.
We're on Woody 17 at the moment.
Yeah, well, they're lovely. I love them so much. But I went in, I've only met them maybe 3 times. And I came in and something just like turned in me. And I immediately hated Will. And so for the whole interview, I was like, do you hate women? And he was like, what? No, I was just asking what it was like to be a teacher.
Don't do
I
that
was like,
shit
you-
on commercial radio, dude. They
I
cannot
loved
take it.
it.
They're like,
I loved it. I could, and that it was the other boys in the room were laughing so much. The women behind the glass, they don't let women in the room. The women
No,
behind the
they're in the
glass,
little glass
they're
fishbowl.
laughing. But Will's going bro, and he's going, no, I don't know why you keep saying that. I've never said that.
I'm a feminist.
Yeah, but
I'm a
I
fucking feminist,
ripped
dude.
him to pieces. I
You
couldn't
gotta do
help it.
You got to do it.
And at the end, I
sometimes.
left, and he looked a little bit rattled. At the end, I was like, "See ya." Oh, by the way, was that all right? Like, was this fun
Yeah.
for you? And he was like, "I didn't love it."
What's this fun?
Was
that
this
fun
fun?
for you?
Awesome. What,
Oh,
a,
we had a great
what a
time.
great out as well. This guy's traumatized and white and shaking. Like, was that fun for you?
Was that fun?
Bye.
Was that fun for you when I just called you like a misogynist in front of millions
Yeah.
of Australians?
Yeah, and then he messaged me after. He was like, "It's fine. I think we're okay. It just means that we're friends." I was like, "We're not friends."
Did you write back, we're not friends?
This is a
Oh.
promotional
No,
opportunity.
I did it, but I was like, I think I went too hard on
Are
him.
you fucking hitting on me, sliding into my DMs and shit?
You really
Yeah.
hate women. That's a good spin when you get to the end of a bully session and then you go, that was fun, right?
Yes.
You turn it on them so that they have to go, oh yeah, no, it was fun. It was.
Yeah, I'm not a loser. I loved it. I could totally take a joke.
You just see them outside in the car crying. You're like,
Yeah.
God, what is he crying about?
Yeah.
We all show fun in different ways.
It's true.
So I did a corporate last week in WA.
Oh, yeah,
and
here we go. This already sounds great.
It went, actually, you ask about bad gigs, hey?
Yeah,
Yeah, we
we
go.
go early. Who cares?
I don't know if this
Shoot
is
your
even
shot.
I don't even know if this is the worst gig because it was actually pretty good. Like it was half an hour for a mining company. Most of that half hour was pretty good as far as these things go. It was in the middle of the day and all that shit. But, I've definitely done worse corporates. But I got to the final 5 minutes of my set and I was feeling cocky because it had gone better than I thought it was going to go. So I was
no.
kind of riffing and stuff and making fun of some guy. I was like, this guy, just kind of making fun of him. Like,
He
this
hates
guy,
women.
This guy wants to get the fuck out of here, wants to get on the fucking meth and go to Northbridge or whatever.
Yes, perfect.
And then that guy was the boss, as it turns out, and he fucking hated it. And he stood up and went like that.
No, take it on the chin as well, you
Look.
soft cock.
And I was like, what's that? And he's like, that's it. You're done. Get off. I don't want to hear any of that drug stuff. And I was like, oh, I don't have any I was just making a little joke, man. It's fine. And he was like, no, it's not fine. It's not fine.
Oh, that's a
And I was
dreadful
like,
gig.
I have 3 minutes left. Can I do a song at the end at least? And he went, what's it about?
oh, I know where this is going.
And it was that fucking medium dick song that I had,
right.
which is a sex song. And I went, oh, it's like about dating and about, it's got some adult themes in it. And he went, nah, we don't want any of that. We don't want anything like that. And I went, well, I got to do something because I wanted to make sure I'd hit the time, like half an hour.
Yeah, I will not leave this stage.
Yeah. And so
Okay.
I played Wonderwall by Oasis at the end of my set. Just played
Famously hilarious song.
a normal
Yeah.
song. And then got to the end of my time. And then anyway, I got off stage. I'm packing up as quick as I can. Like, I've got to get the fuck out of here. I've done my time. I've got to call, make sure I'm getting paid and all that kind of shit. And the boss comes over to me. Ooh. And I was amazed at how I spun it. He went, well, that didn't quite go to plan. And then the way I turned it on him was I went, you know what? I think that was really good. I think it was good that you stood up to me and you stood your ground and you said that you weren't happy with that. I think your employees all saw you take charge.
A fucking massive rebrand. I'm loving this, dude.
They all saw you take charge of that situation. Plus, they all felt like they got a little bit of a cheeky comedy experience from me. I think it worked quite well. It was
that's very clever. And was he like, you're right, it was perfect?
Not really.
Okay. I know you want him over. He's like, dude, nah.
Well, they still paid me and stuff, but I could tell he was kind of like, yeah. But I could tell in his eyes, he was like, this little cunt, just shut up.
But they would have booked you from seeing your clips.
Seeing that song.
Yeah. That's what had 10 million views.
Yeah. But I just didn't. They weren't into it.
Not into it.
These, like, it was the middle of the day. It was a corporate event, and I think that whatever, they're a mining company. They probably don't want the boss being told that he's on meth or whatever. When there's, he probably is.
You never know the line. You're like, have a bit of fun with it. Like even I did like a commercial real estate, and I love how you looked at the time because I'm like. 20 minutes, I'm like, I reckon I can get away with 16. You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying. One I did over, and I'm surprised they paid me. I was like, it was like 30 minutes. I'm like, yeah, I'm doing 20. And then I looked at the dial, and I did 14. I was like, anyway, see ya, bye.
And
I was like,
counting.
Dude, it was one of those, there was a sit-down lunch one, no stage, and you're just like, where do I go? And just anywhere. Just
so
walk
tough.
around while people are eating in a skinny room.
Oh, you're walking around?
Well, there's no stage. And then there was like tables around the corner. So I was like, fucking hell. I was like, this is not good at all.
That's that's like warm up. Like you're doing a warm up for an event or something.
And I was trying to keep the crowd work on for so long.
Yeah.
Like if you can stay in that fucking vein.
Yeah.
But there was like, all right, we're done with talking. Now do some jokes. And then like, just was like,
it's impossible.
They're all fucking real estate agents. So I was like, this guy's off in the toilet bumping. And he actually was. And he was like, no, I'm not. And I'm like, oh, God, come on, fuck. You know what I mean? Like, he's like, no, I'm behaving. I'm like, my God.
We're so used to being in a comedy club where, like, the audience just fucking loves it when you're a bit rude about someone in the room or you imply someone's done drugs or whatever the fuck. But in those events, they are really just like, I actually can't even laugh at this because my boss is right there and I'm terrified.
It's the worst setup for comedy. You know what
Terrible.
I mean?
I don't know why they do it.
Oh, man, I need the cash.
I mean, I'll do it, yeah.
I'll die for 20 minutes.
I can disassociate. I've gotten pretty good at just looking at the time and being like, all right, well, in half an hour, this will be over, and I'm just not even going to be present for the next half hour. And I'm just like zoned out, fucking doing the gear, playing guitar.
I wish I had another gear, like the guitar. Can you're like, I'm just going to play Wonderwall. If I just started going like, maybe you're gonna be the one that they're like, no, this is somehow worse. Just don't sing. I'm like, I wish I was multi-talented. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's definitely a get out of jail free card is having the guitar there. Because even if they're not loving the funny songs, it's still filling up time.
Yes.
And like it's filling the silence as well. Because man, I've done so many of these things where you're just talking. And those silences, you feel them. They are fucking hardcore.
Dude, and they're just, and like those big distance tables away from each other, and then the wait staff are like, dropping off plates and shit. You're like,
when they're all talking. I wonder what's worse. I think I would prefer complete silence, like them not laughing at anything, compared to them just starting to talk.
That sucks. Yeah, that's
and
worse.
you don't know. And because I used to be a teacher, I'm always like, okay, guys. All right, we're waiting for you. And I'm like, oh, this is awful. And then they're like, oh, why?
Yeah.
And then they look at you and especially if they're rich, they're definitely coked off their brains. And so then they start talking again. And then you have to be like, all right, I'm just going to talk into the abyss.
Yeah.
I'm just,
Roll the eyes back.
whatever.
You just sort of have to do that.
Yeah. And then then the person who's organised the gig, they're not off their face. And so they'll watch it because
they're stressed the fuck out.
Yeah.
man, I did one with the King Hughesy, and they're like, because I was emceeing, and I think it was Ben Caution as well, who fucking really did well. And like it was fun, and then like, oh, can you go out and do the raffle? I was like, oh, I don't want to do the fucking raffle. But I was paid along. I was like, I'll do the raffle, and she's like, just make it funny. And I was like, well,
Perfect.
what you think is funny and what I think are funny are two different things. And they had this table of things, and I was just like, all right, someone want a shit $3 bottle of fucking wine. And then she was at the back going, it's not shit. And I'm like, oh, come on, mate, I'm having a bit of fucking fun.
So every to make it funny.
Yeah, so then that became the thing, and she was like so angry by the end of it at me. I'm like, whoa, what? Because it's always like Jan from reception or the HR lady trying to create an atmosphere, and you're like, you can't force people to have fun, mate.
I know,
you know?
I know.
Is that the first time you've ever had someone pull the pin on a gig halfway through?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've pulled the pin early, like you were saying. Like, I've finished early for sure.
Yeah.
But I just have really been trying to get through the time now and like trying to
They still would, you know,
meditate almost. Like
they
this
still
is
have
not
to pay
happening.
you if they've put, especially you don't have to fight to stay on. Please let me finish.
Let me
please.
do Wonderwall, please.
No, we don't want to hear
I
it.
need to sing.
Yeah. When I sent that invoice in, I was like, if that doesn't come back, that's fine. But I think they got so high that night, I made sure I sent it very early in the morning so the guy woke up with anxiety. And you know, that coke anxiety or whatever, I better fucking pay him. You know what I mean? I want to forget all last night. And then you're like, actually, he did 12 minutes out of fucking...
They're not counting. Zamet, who was on our Brisbane live show, she had this amazing story where she was performed at the Gabba, like one person. All it just takes is just one person who's organising it to have seen one funny thing that this comedian's done. And they go, that would be perfect for this. Everyone will like this person.
Big stadium. Tables, big stadium.
There was it's like...
It was outside.
It was on the Oval. On the...
I'm
cricket
picturing
field.
it in like a corporate function.
No,
a full,
on-
where they fucking play
pitch.
cricket and whatever.
Wow.
So it looked like, even though there was, I don't know, what'd you say, 52 to 100 people there, it looked like there were ants, nothing, nothing. So she had to walk all the way through, and then she was performing, and she started with the material, Emma Zamet material that we know and love, and whoever else was organising it had never seen it before, ran over and pulled the plug and was like, no way. No way. So then Emma had to walk across the
Pitch up the stairs to the door. But then the best part was it took her like 5 minutes and everyone was watching in silence, and then the door was locked and she's like, fuck, and then had to walk to the other one off to the right.
all the way around.
Oh my
Paradise.
God.
And they're all, I was like, was everyone staring? And then she's like, oh yeah.
Oh, that's hell on earth.
It's pretty good if it's not you.
Oh, it's the
if it's
best.
not you.
It's so good, dude.
I have this another nightmare story. It's not mine. It was a comedian. He was a musical comedian. He's up in Brisbane. Dave Eastgate's told me the story. It's one of my favourites. A lady came over and said, I think you'd be great for our she's a HR lady. I think you'd be great for our staff Christmas party. We're doing it on a boat. And he was like, yeah, I'll do it. Yeah, whatever price. Was like best and less. He was like, yeah, fine. And he said to her, you just need to make sure there's a stage and a microphone because I'll bring my guitar. She was like, definitely. He gets on the boat.
Right.
They take off. He walking around. He's like, where's the stage? And she goes, oh, forgot it.
Forgot.
And she goes, well, that's okay. You just stand next to the buffet table and he's a short man. And he was like, okay, fine. Where's the mics? And she goes, it's just there. She goes, he was like, the mic stand as well. She was like, nah. So then a man had to, she goes, we figured it out. The guy had to hold the microphone and kneel down. And while he had to play his guitar like this.
What the fuck?
He's like, this couldn't get any worse. He kicks off. He's got a few crass jokes in there as well. Whoever was the boss of the business was like, no. And he was like, stop. And he's like, no more. This is disgusting. And then was furious at the lady who booked it. So this man had to stand up off the ground.
Why do I?
What are we doing?
And then you're on a boat. You got nowhere to go.
Where does he go? Does he stay
He called a water taxi,
Yeah, you
to get out of there.
Oh my God.
Isn't that? I love that story.
Nightmare. What do
I
we
love
do? I mean,
that
we just
story.
need the money. That's why. So, I mean, if anyone's watching this and you book a corporate, book us. We'll do it.
We'll do it.
Yeah.
We'll fucking do it. But like, we'll
Basically
hate
anything.
it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And we'll be bitching about you to everyone else.
I reckon I got 50% you have an actual good time and you're like, this is fun.
Yeah, some of them are good.
And then some are like, there's about 30% was like, this could be on or off. And then 20% are fucking the most awful thing you've ever done in your life.
Yeah.
But you've bought a new couch by the end of it. So you're like, oh, I'll cop this.
That's what I just kept thinking about because it was such a boring thing that I had to spend the money on. But my dog needs to get her teeth cleaned. Do you know how much that fucking costs?
How much?
$2.5 grand.
And I already know that you bought your dog a new pussy as
I already
well.
bought her a new vagina. That was $6 grand
my
or whatever.
gosh.
The amount of cash I'm spending on getting this chick hot.
Dude, are you trying to fuck your dog? You got her a brand new fucking pussy for $6 grand.
She?
She's 4. We've never had her
She couldn't
teeth
wee or
properly
something.
cleaned.
Is that right? She couldn't wee properly.
She couldn't wee properly, so she was getting UTIs, and she was getting really sick from the UTIs and like vomiting all the time, losing heaps of weight. And then they told us that she had an oversized vulva or labia, whatever the outside one is.
Yep.
Nailed it.
Vulva.
Okay, and then
Feminist.
they said we'll get a
Labia.
vulva.
It's actually labia.
It's a labia.
I'm like, labia. Labia. Anyway,
it's
whatever.
one
It's
of
the
them.
camel toe bit of the camel.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And then they said we'll give, if we do some cosmetic surgery and give her a labiaplasty to make it smaller, she won't get as many
Wow.
UTIs. So we had to get fucking plastic surgery for my
Wow.
dog's pussy. And the tits too.
What do you mean her tits? You
Well,
did
we
not.
gave her a tit job.
Dude, if
May as well.
you're going to do the
as well.
curtains,
She's
you
under.
may as well do the drapes, baby. You know what I mean? Let's get this bitch popping. I moved to the Gold Coast. She needs some norks on her.
Yeah, so we did that. So I'm spending cash. So that's what got me
Yeah.
through that corporate was like, this will just, I'm getting my dog's fucking $2.5 grand teeth cleaning shit because I have to fucking put them under so they can clean it. Oh, it's so boring. But
I have
that
no
got me
idea.
through it. That got me through it.
Yeah, I don't have a dog. It sounds really
You
expensive.
got children. Way more
Yeah,
expensive.
no, they are. Well, Lucas and I said to each other yesterday, I said, imagine if we didn't have kids. Imagine how much money we'd have. And then we laughed and laughed, but both a little bit sore. We're like,
Yeah, but you just be like me. I've got no kids, but just so much stupid shit I don't need in the shed. Like, do I
Yeah.
need 4 dirt bikes and a fucking crossbow? Probably
Yeah,
not.
yeah.
Well,
You'd
you
go
never
on
know.
holidays like you barely remember. You'd go to fucking Thailand with Carl Chandler every year like he does.
oh, yeah.
He's got kids though.
Yeah, sure, he does. Yeah, fuck.
So can
It's another podcast festival.
Yeah. So Cam, this whole podcast is about shit jobs. Have you had any?
Oh my God, I've had so many. Like,
Okay.
like I'm sure most people in the performing arts.
Very
I've
nice.
worked many jobs to supplement that over the years. From telemarketing to
Oof.
manual labor to weird acting adjacent jobs. But I mean, the one that I've talked about a lot last year on the show that I toured was the dinner theatre restaurant that I worked at.
I'm obsessed with it. I'm absolutely obsessed with it because I didn't know that, like, because I'm from Perth and we didn't have that shit there. So as soon as we went to Melbourne or the
Yeah.
Gold Coast, we were, I was at
Draculas.
Draculas. I was
Yeah.
buying the shot glass,
Oh,
the
yeah.
syringes, and I was like, this is cool as shit, dude. Am I in Soho? Is this theatre? Like, I did
my
all the
God.
tacky things that people mock. I did all of them, and
you
I
loved
I
them.
fucking there was on the Draculas. You got in a roller
roller
coaster before you
coaster.
go in there,
Yeah.
and I was like, dude, this is sick.
I've been there.
Yeah.
I've been to that Dracula's on the Gold Coast multiple times.
Why?
such
Because
a
you
good
enjoy
time.
it, or because
I think
for research?
me and Becky, Lucas, Damien Power, Henry Stone were in Queensland. I think 3 of us were doing gigs and Henry was just there. And Becky and I convinced them to go
Yeah.
to Dracula's. And
Damien Power.
went. And then like a week later we went again. At
Oh,
the end
all
of
of
that
you.
week.
You all loved it
Just
again.
me and Becky that
Okay,
next
yeah.
time, I think. Date night. But we dragged Damo along. We got Damien Power there. And he was like, so, you know what Damien's like? He's
Yeah.
like just trying to analyze everything. He's like, yeah, right. So far out. So that girl, she also goes on stage and does that, but she also cooks in the kitchen. That's crazy. What do you reckon they're getting paid here? That's crazy.
Just let it go, Damo. He's like, could I do this as well? Should I sell palmers during my stand up? You know what I mean?
It's actually not a bad idea.
Yeah. Oh my
You
god.
sell a Palmer. But yeah, I've been to that one. There was a couple in Melbourne. There's Witches and Britches.
Yes.
Yes.
Did you ever go to that one?
No, I drove past it. I
It's
was like,
closed down now, hasn't it?
no, it's still going. I think.
Oh, is that
They-
in North Melbourne?
They
that one?
definitely closed for a bit. They might be back up again, but they closed for a bit because I remember the news story. They got someone found out that they were brewing their own fucking booze.
yeah,
like their
that's
own
right. The
vodka or
basement.
something.
Yes.
Oh my god!
Yeah, they were just had a little fucking distillery underneath it, and they were making like vodka or gin or something for their bar, which is so illegal. Just poisoning people. People are getting sick and shit.
People are getting sick with
yeah, like what the fuck? Because
it can really go horribly wrong. You know what I mean?
Chemicals and stuff.
The guy with the Dracula teeth is like down there. My laboratory. Wah, 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 wah.
Because you would assume from a place like that it'd be the food. Because you imagine how rank the kitchen would be.
Oh man, the food was so bad at the one I worked at.
Because you worked at one in Newcastle. That was because I saw your show last year. I loved it so much. It was excellent.
I missed it and was annoyed.
You missed out. It was so. What I loved, and I think this is a lot of comedy, is we go through parts of our life which are deeply humiliating. And then we have to go, that is embarrassing to admit it, but people are going to laugh really loudly at me, but they'll pay for it. So I'll do it. You know, we'll just basically do anything.
I'll take the shame again.
I mean, we all know what that's like. It's just, and also you get to a point when you've been doing comedy for a little while, where you've gone through all the stories you wanted to tell.
Yes.
And then you're like, fuck, there's only these ones left that I've been avoiding talking to anyone about because it's so shameful. But then you're like, it has to have been for something.
Yes.
I had to have gone through that experience for something.
And you had pictures of you dressed as
I found
Pirates
pictures
of the Caribbean.
The pirate holding like the Coronas. I loved that so much. The eyeliner and shit.
Oh, man. When I started doing it, because I did the first trial of it in Newcastle, and some old mates of mine came obviously to watch. And then people started sending me videos of the theatre restaurant. And I was in some of the videos by coincidence. I was like, this is a gift. So I'm like taking all that, put it all on the show. But yeah, I grew up in Newcastle in New South Wales, and there was like 3 theatre restaurants there for some fucking reason.
A huge amount.
They were massive like in the early 2000s, you know what I mean? Like it was fucking like, oh, wow.
And it's like, I guess if you're not in the big city, what else is there, you know? So there's just little things like that pop up. And so our one was horror themed. And then there was one that was like a jailbreak themed one where everyone's dressed up as like convicts or something. And
what were the songs and shit?
In our one?
Yeah.
Or it was all pop songs. It was all just like the song I did was Rock DJ by Robbie Williams.
Classic horror song.
Yeah. Oh, I'm scared.
Yeah. And like stuff like that, like Bon Jovi and
so they weren't themed. They're just normal songs, just in any outfit.
You'd get like, so everyone has a character, and you'd get an intro song that was sort of adjacent. So like the werewolf guy would get Hungry Like the Wolf or whatever.
Okay.
And everyone had sort of adjacent ones, and then I guess by the time I joined, they were just like, yeah, you can have rock DJ. And I'm like, but I'm a fucking pirate. Captain Jack Sparrow.
Yeah, boats rock around in the ocean, you fucking. Was there like a musical director coordinator? Because the people who are performing the people who are performing are one thing, but the person who gives a fuck about that show, that's another level of fucking theatre kid there.
Absolutely, man. There was a guy called Anthony. He was an older fellow, and he had come up through the theatre scene in Newcastle, I guess. And he was real dramatic, and he would try to give everyone their characters. But everyone there was my age, so I was 19 or whatever. So it's mainly people around 18, 19, and then a couple of people that are in their mid to late 30s, which is so weird.
So embarrassing.
And so
I love it.
And they take it seriously, like the older people, because this is their art, you know, it's their business, it's their outlet. But everyone else who was my age was just like, oh, it's a fucking job. It's a bar job. They didn't check if I have an RSA. We're allowed to drink on the job. Everyone's like doing drugs on the job and stuff. Plus, it was real horny.
Yeah, I was going to say, it'd be so fucking horny. It's like, dude, I banged the werewolf last night. It was sick.
Real horny.
It'd be so horny.
So no one took it seriously.
What's an example of a female performer there? Like, what would she dress as?
They're all like, there was a girl called, they all had names that was sort of like, there was a girl called Bubble Scum, and she was like a fairy, she had fairy wings, but she was slutty as well,
of
obviously.
Course, see what I mean? Like,
my lord.
all the girls
did you have a thing for Bubble Wings or whatever her name was?
You had a girlfriend. You wouldn't have been
out.
Oh, dude, that's a bad time to be having a girlfriend. Musical theatre or whatever. It's fucking
a
horny.
girlfriend at the time. But they were all rooting each other. There was one guy called, his character's name was Voodoo, and he was definitely underage. Like he was maybe 17 or something.
Yeah.
And he had a big dick. Because everyone was like getting changed. Like you're all getting changed in the fucking change room. And I was so conservative. I'm like hiding, like standing facing the wall.
Yes, you have a song about a medium
no one
dick,
can
dude.
see
Yeah. 10 million hits.
But some guys are like, yeah, man, whatever. Just like with their fucking dick out. And everyone would always talk about this guy's dick. Like, fuck. And even our boss, who was one of the older ladies, she was always like, oh my God, look at the size of that fucking thing.
What
like,
the hell?
Talking about his dick and stuff. And then so for her
The
birthday.
Cole Legacy work there. What the hell, yo? Check out this guy's big dick.
Look at this hog. For her birthday, he made her one of those dildo molding
No,
things.
he didn't.
For his own boss. Like, you know the dildo mold
The
thing?
child did. The child
Fuck.
You
So
get-
he got
Yeah.
his dick hard, put it in a
Molded
fucking
it
mold.
and then made a fucking dildo to give to
His
his
boss.
boss. Like for
That
her birthday.
fucking that's the best thing I've ever heard. That is the hey, go
awful.
plow yourself with my dick tonight.
And she loved it. She's like,
She-
oh my God. Like playing with it. and stuff.
Oh,
did. Everything about this place is awful.
It was I pushed
as
it
a-
out of my memory for
Yes.
such a long time.
But
Like,
as if you were an outsider, once again looking in, like a sitcom
Yeah,
world or whatever,
yeah.
that's the funniest shit I've ever seen.
it took 10 years for me to find it funny, but I remember leaving and being like, honestly fucking traumatized by working there because it was so aggressively sexual. Like, not only just the people that work there, but the people that go there. Like, if you're walking around and I'm dressed as Jack Sparrow, there's just old ladies like going, like grabbing your ass
Oh
and
my
stuff. And
God.
like,
Yeah, I
'cause
can
they just treat
imagine.
you like you're a fucking cartoon character. But in particular, the lady that ran the place, she was really aggressively sexual to everyone. And the fucking guy that ran the kitchen, this guy Justin, was real horny.
the guy
to
that
everyone.
heat up the fucking macaroni and cheese.
Yeah.
Heat up the fucking vegetable lasagna and the fucking chicken like
Kievs.
parma and stuff.
Yeah.
He was always like, he'd come up to you. I remember like you'd do your song or whatever, and then you go up the back and have a drink or whatever, like to decompress after you've done rock DJ. Stand at the bar and have a vodka soda or whatever. And the Justin would come over and like lean up against the bar next to you and be like, oh God, yo, you looked so fucking good up there. I'd love to suck your cock and stuff. And you're 19 and you're just like,
Funny you should say that. I've just got a mold of it. Go nuts, Chan.
You're just like kind of giggling and be like, oh yeah, Justin, you're fucking funny, man.
And how old's Justin, by the way? He's like above 30?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, dude,
Like,
you're
way
fucking
off.
grooming
Of course.
18-year-old boys here.
He's grooming, the ladies grooming, everyone's rooting. I talked about it in the show, so you've seen this, but she would have after parties back at her house after the show. She really was like, back at mine, we're having an after party, like real theatery shit. But she had a hot tub, and she'd just be like,
my God.
everyone in
Is
the
this
hot
fucking
tub.
Epstein Island over here or what?
So
Fully
yuck.
Epstein Island. Everyone would get in the hot tub, and like everyone's wasted, and she's just like letting people sleep over, people sleeping in her bed and shit.
Yeah, this is really gross.
Like she's fucking hooking up with people.
Is she hot or is she just horny?
Just a horny older lady.
Fuck yeah.
Theater lady, you know. And because I had a girlfriend, I always had like a bit of distance up where I was like, I feel so uncomfortable being here because obviously the other part of you was like, if I was single, I would probably just be like, fuck yeah, let's go
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
This is a wild atmosphere. You're encouraging all this crazy behavior. And thank God, because like it was wild. People were fucking rooting the boss.
In my head,
and
I was
all
like,
this
man,
shit.
fucking 18-year-old Brett. I used to bully kids in musical theatre. No, I was wrong.
Yeah.
These guys are getting sucked up. I was sitting around a table with 4 of my mates drinking a beer. Fuck.
Oh yeah, it was
yeah,
weird.
it
Man.
makes sense that it took you 10 years to find it funny because you would have, like, you were basically sexually assaulted.
Yeah, you
for
sexually
te-
assaulted and
for
groomed.
all-
It was like, yeah, it's
And
traumatic.
then,
yeah.
and then you
And
watched.
embarrassed.
Oh,
and so embarrassed. Wearing a
the-
fucking costume,
and-
dancing around.
Yes,
and
and
shit.
the fact that you were okay with it for however long. How long did you do it for?
I was there for a year.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Yeah,
to-
because I just needed the money.
Was was the cash good or was this fine?
It was literally just cash in an envelope, and it was pretty good. Like there was no books or whatever. That's why they got shut down in the end because they got shut down for a number of reasons. They didn't have a liquor
yeah,
license
rapes and all the shit. Yeah, but whatever. Yeah.
Exactly, all that shit. There was drugs and all this shit, but they also were keeping no tally on like who was getting paid what, where the money was coming and going, and
That's
all that shit.
wild.
So it was like loose. The guy that fucking ran the books or whatever there, or managed the place, was an ex-cop who got fired for bashing people. So it was like dodge.
Dude,
dodge.
This fucking sounds like this sounds sick. I'm going to be honest with you. This sounds
When I look
wild,
back
dude.
on it, I'm like, it was pretty sick. But in the moment,
It sucks.
I remember just like being heaps embarrassed because I was playing in bands at the same time as well. And I had, you know, my girlfriend who I'm now married to. And so I was like always embarrassed about it. And my friends would obviously tease me about it and stuff.
Yeah.
Because
And
if
she
you were
would
my
too.
mate, I would have been like, dude,
course.
every weekend I would have booked a table and just be like, hey, mate. And then you're like, just fuck with you.
Oh man, everyone will, because I'm trying to play in my real band, like my fucking rock band, and all the guys in my band are like, you've still got fucking makeup on from last
Shut
night
up!
and shit. I'm
No, I
like,
don't.
"Fuck, fucking leave me alone.
Yeah,
guys."
put your hand up if you're in a hot tub getting fucking sucked off. None of you cunts, were you? I mean, I
Cam-
wasn't, but I saw someone else. Whatever.
Cam, there's a dildo in your pocket. What is going on? Sorry, guys. Sorry,
My
guys.
co-worker's dick.
Fuck, I wish it was mine. It's huge.
His name's Voodoo, whatever.
Yeah, I did. Voodoo's such a yes. This all is awesome, dude.
Oh,
So
man.
that has to be your worst ever job.
I think there's
It
it's
has
on-
to
it's-
be.
I
it has
missed
to
this
be.
show
Oh,
because I loved
it
Electric
was
Dreams
great.
the year before.
Oh,
it was the
yeah.
best show I've seen in years. And
It's
then fucking, I was like, I've got to get to the. It was a clash, and I was like, fuck. I was so annoyed because I just love that world. Because I was like, because you know, Perth suburban, you don't know. Like when you go to,
Yeah.
you just look on what's 10 best things to do in Melbourne. It's like or Sydney or whatever. It's like go to fucking Dracula's,
Yeah.
and you're like,
Yeah.
wow, look at me.
I went
you
to
don't realize
Dracula's-
how fucking stupid it is.
I went to Draculas, the Gold Coast, and it is just embarrassing. I went there and I was young. It's my 19th birthday or 20th birthday, and I went with a friend, and we were like, "This will be fun and funny and whatever," but it is just embarrassing.
It's wild.
because. All,
Man,
yeah,
it's such
all
a
the
good
girls
time,
are
though.
dressed in like nothing, and you're like, what even is that costume? Why are you a fairy?
And it's
What-
like corsets.
Yeah,
It's
and
just
then
a lot
they
of
would,
corsets.
and none of
Yeah.
the because I was like, oh, it's at a play, but it's just they come and they will sing their favorite songs. So it was just heaps of Evanescence.
And yeah,
So
there was
much
Take me
Evanescence.
up this.
Yeah,
I had a
I
crush
love
on her
that.
at the Gold Coast when she did the Evanescence song, and I was like,
There you go.
hell yes, dude.
At the when I
Marry
went to
me.
the Gold Coast one of the girls got up and did a little talk before her song. She's like, "This song is dedicated to my friend Jessie, who has issues with drugs." And then
Oh.
she did "Under the Bridge" by the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and I remember just being like, "This is so inappropriate. Why are you talking about your friend's drug addiction?"
She's
We're
like,
trying to have a dinner.
Yeah, fucking Dracula.
she
Talking about your friend being on heroin or whatever.
this is a song of my friend with a heroin addiction. Anyway, oh wow, just does the steps. Down with a sickness.
They're so bizarre, those places. They've gotten
I'm back on board. I want to go now again. I'm
No.
excited about it again. Let's go to Witches and
every
Witches.
couple of years you got to go.
You gotta go.
It's pretty fun.
Okay,
They're
we
cheap.
all know they're fucking
All right,
and it's
fine.
horny. It's fun.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
man,
If
it's
you
even
get
better.
it, you'd have to go with a group of people who are going for the same reason.
Yes.
All right, we're
Okay.
doing a work
Fine.
hates mid-Christmas party. We're going to Witches and Britches as a group and having the best night ever.
I reckon that would be great.
It'd be
then
so
we can
much
all
fun.
do a pod afterwards
Oh,
and try and recap
my
it.
god!
Okay,
Our
how much are
favourite
tickets?
parts.
Aren't they? Tickets are
That'd be
dear.
so
Oh,
expensive.
dude, they're like $80, man. It was like, and they're like, they shouldn't be that expensive. They're making the vodka themselves.
Oh man, but the Draculas on the Gold Coast is woke now. Have you gone in the last couple of years?
Obviously not.
It's super different to what it
It's
used to be.
oh, they've fucking gotten everyone now. Dracula's at the Gold Coast.
Yeah, they're all snowflakes.
What do you mean woke? How do you
Well,
know?
back in the day, and the one I worked at especially, it was like rude humor. It would be like,
Yeah.
you're a fucking slut, or look at this fucking guy, like making fun of people for various things or whatever.
That's exactly how my sets go. By the way, that's
yeah, it's like
all
what
I
we
say.
do now. I'd say.
Yeah.
Do I work there?
But yeah, we kind of do. We're kind of the new Dracula. But now it's like respectful, and they ask permission to do crowd work with you and stuff
Oh,
like that.
that sucks.
Whereas back in the day, they'd be like, look at this fat fucking idiot.
Oh, dude, that was the best thing. Like seeing someone just get peppered. He's like, well, now I can't eat my parma because I'm fat. It's just a normal meal. Everyone's having one. Fuck.
Yeah, it's so crazy.
Man, they were brutal. And I remember one guy was like fucking off his head as well because it was like like they did 2 shows. Like,
Oh, yeah.
like a matinee. I don't know. Was the matinee the first one or something? Like,
it's a day
they did
one.
like a
Yeah.
6:30 and an 8:30. Like, we're going to the 8:30, and it was the guy was fucking off. That's the only thing I remember about it, and that one hot goth chick. But besides that.
And no, it was just embarrassing. I remember sitting with my friend and this girl came over in character. She was like a zombie. And all I could think of was that she was just a failed actor. So when she came over, I was just wanted to be like, you don't have to do that. You can just go away. Just bring me a wine and fuck off. Like, don't talk.
Yeah, you don't have to keep
But
character
she has to
up.
stay in character. And so she was like, would you like? And I was like, just a wine, and trying to cut her off. And she goes, oh, you look young. Can I see your ID? I was like, we have to go. I can't do this.
that's
Like,
so
like
weird.
going through my purse to get my ID to show a fucking zombie.
Yeah, she's in character.
It's like when you bump into a comic who does character comedy and they still stay in it backstage. You're like, brother, fucking drop it.
I fucking hate it.
Yeah,
I hate it
there's
so
one
much.
great case in Perth, obviously. And I was just like, man, it's been an hour.
Yeah.
Just please stop.
Please
It's
be you for a
literally
second.
making me uncomfortable.
It's so weird, man. It's so
and
weird.
it's like what you do is like only 10% different
Yeah,
on
yeah.
stage. You know what I mean? Like, just fucking stop,
Just
dude.
relax.
No, it's mental. And then, so, I mean, I was never that. I was always too embarrassed to, like, stay in character. I'd start out in character like, oh, hello, I'm Captain Jack or whatever. And then by, like, an hour into the night, I'm like, all right, so we've got 2 Doom juices, one skull cocktail.
You're taking orders as well. So you
orders
do
and
your
stuff.
song and then you take order. I didn't realize. I thought you did your song and then you're done.
Oh my God. You do your song, you're working the bar, you're working the floor, like taking orders and stuff. You're also going in and out of the kitchen, bringing people's fucking meals over to them and shit. You're a waiter, basically.
I thought it was you were just performance staff and then there was different wait staff.
No, they're all the
No,
same.
you sort of like...
You get a 10-minute window to shine and then you're back being a dish pig.
There were favourites. There were definitely people that got more stage time because they were the favourites of the boss.
Was that you?
was the guy with a big dick, of course.
he
Voodoo?
couldn't sing for shit. But I did work my way up. And eventually I was like, I was kind of not really doing bar stuff by the end. I was like, man, I'm a fucking performer.
So did you stay till
I'm
the
a
end where they got
still
shut
fucking
down?
I was there till they got shut down. So there was a like police raid because they were selling, one of the guys that worked behind the bar was selling full bottles of booze to people like as if it was a takeaway liquor shop or whatever, which you just can't fucking do when you're not licensed.
Like bottles
to
of
sell.
Jacks or
like bottles of fucking bourbon and stuff. And then so that got the attention of the police. And then they started like staking out the place and coming in undercover, and they noticed that we didn't have an RSA license, like no responsible service of alcohol license. And then they came in one
drunk
night.
on stage.
This guy's fucking wasted. He keeps asking where the rum is. Then they all came in with the RSA cops in the middle of a show, turned all the lights on.
Oh, wait till the show's over, guys. Have a bit of fucking
in the middle
decorum.
of a song, And then they checked everyone's RSA to see if they had an RSA. I had one, but a lot of the people didn't. A lot of people just didn't even have an RSA. And then the fines just racked up from there. She couldn't afford to pay him, so the place shut down. But it was like $500,000 in fines or something.
And did you, even though now, 10 years later, you can see that it was a bad job at the time because you climbed the ranks. Were you, when it was shut down, were you devastated?
I think I was pretty just glad that it had ended, and also I was trying to save up money because my girlfriend was going overseas and I was going to go overseas with her. And I had enough money by the end, basically. I had to borrow some off mum and dad, I think. But I was like, good, let's get the fuck out of here. Let's leave it behind us. And then for years, I didn't even I was nervous every time I went back to Newcastle. Because I moved to Sydney not long after that. And every time I went home, I would see people that I either used to work with or whatever. And it was like stressful.
I was going to ask, are you still friends with any of them?
Yeah, a couple.
You are?
Not Voodoo, but there's a couple. A few came to the show last year.
Yes,
And they loved it?
Yeah, it was pretty fun. Some of them were like, yeah, fuck you, unearthed some memories that I've repressed and stuff. Because I was talking a lot about all the drugs and sex shit that went on.
Did the owner come?
No, thank God.
Too busy fucking in the spa.
Yeah,
I think she moved to Bali or Thailand or something.
Oh, yeah, that
she had to.
Yeah, she did.
With all the other groomers.
But friends with a couple of them. So one of the guys, the guy that got me the job because...
Justin.
Yeah, so we're dating. This guy called Jared worked there before me, and I knew him from playing in other bands in Newcastle. and he got me the job there, and I'm still mates with him. There's a few people that I'm still mates with. One of them has become a really big casting director in Australian film and stuff.
Oh, great.
So, and she always puts me up for things. I've never gotten any of them, but I'm like grateful that I knew her back when we were both
She
being
keeps showing your show reel as you who's Jack Sparrow. She can't get that image out of her
a
head.
really good pirate. Only putting me up for pirate roles and shit.
And now, have you ever quit in spectacular fashion?
Oh, yes. Yeah,
Oh,
I
fantastic.
have. Yeah, I was glad you asked that because I remembered this the other day. I used to work around that same time. So this is like 2021 or whatever. I had a job in a warehouse doing like, like clothing stores, how they have like magnetic tags on the clothes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Security
that's
tags.
Yeah, security
Yeah.
tag.
They're
Pretty
full
much-
of ink or something, so if you try and rip
those
them off.
ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever done that?
No, but
They don't
that's
explode.
They
don't?
They don't.
You always hear that they do.
Yeah.
People
Yeah.
are always like, yeah, they fucking explode and ink goes everywhere. and
They're
shit.
ruined.
I mean, I've never seen it, but I had a job in a warehouse just tagging clothes,
Okay.
like a full-time job.
Yeah.
Fucking
That's a
however
long
many
day.
hours a day, just
Aw.
like with tags and pins and fucking tagging things, putting all the clothes in boxes, loading the boxes into a van, and then driving that van to various stores around Newcastle and dropping all the clothes off and shit. It's for like a surf company. I was there
That's
for about a year.
It sounds
Oh,
horrible.
it was like me and four guys in a warehouse, not really talking.
I was going to say, like,
doing
if
monotony.
you're doing a monotonous job or whatever the fuck the word is, like if you're doing something like that, long as you're with a cool crew, it's
Yeah,
like whatever.
yeah.
This is just a thing, and I get to hang out.
There was
with
like
some
one
dudes.
guy I liked, and we would talk about music and stuff.
Justin?
And yeah, Justin.
Justin's back again.
yeah,
I will
we'd-
not let
I'd
it
let
go.
him
He
suck
looks
my dick and
sexy,
stuff.
fucking with those tags on.
How did you get a job here, man? You're a fucking sex criminal.
Take your chef hat off.
You need to be security tagged.
But the guy who ran the warehouse was the son of the guy that owned the whole company.
Right.
Okay.
So it was like a nepo baby situation where
Mm-hmm.
he had just gotten the job from his
Yes.
dad, and he was like shit at it and lazy, and like he fucked up a lot of things, but he would pass the blame on to people like us or other people or whatever. And he tried to fuck with me one time. I walked into the back room where the safe was, where all the money was from all the stores. We had to go around and collect the till as well, bring it into the main safe, and then it would get picked up and go to the bank. I walked into his office where the little vault safe thing was, and the vault was open and there was no money in there. And then he came in behind me and went, "Aha, I fucking caught you. You stole the money. You stolen the money from the safe." And I was like, "No, I didn't. I just walked in
Oh,
here."
the scumbag.
And he was like, "You fucking did it. I walked in. I saw you. The door's open. You've taken the money."
Oh, I've cracked the fucking safe, have I, cunt?
oh my
And I
gosh.
was like, I didn't take the money.
But did you know immediately what he was doing?
I think I was like, "Oh, this guy's." I didn't respect him anyway, so I was like, "This guy's a fucking idiot."
Like, where is it? I'm right
yeah,
here.
like where is it? And he was like, He said to me, "I'm gonna give you to the end of the day to give the money back, or you're fired." And by that point, I'm like, "All right, well, he's fucking with me or something."
Yeah.
So I like walked outside and rang my girlfriend and was like, told her everything. I was like, "The boss is fucking with me, I think." And then she was like, "Yeah, it sounds like he's just trying to do a power play or whatever." And then I was like, "I think I'm going to quit." And she went, "Yeah, you should quit." And then I got so happy. You know, when you're just like, "Oh my God, I
Don't
get
have to be here
Yeah.
I don't
again.
have to be here anymore," but also I get to be like rude to this person.
Oh,
Like,
yeah, it's
I have
great.
permission
I
to
love it.
do it. And
I can see the smile on your face.
oh, it's the best feeling.
Oh, dude, it's the best.
It's like when someone heckles too many times in the crowd, and
Yeah.
then and you're just like, "Oh, thank God, I get to really fucking
Yeah.
go."
Everyone knows that you're an idiot.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say it.
I've
yeah,
got
great.
permission from the room. I can sense it.
So what'd you do?
I waited till the end of the day, actually. Like I just
why?
timed it out, and then I just like fucking called him out in front of everyone. He was out there making a coffee or something, and I was like, he went, "So nearly 5 o'clock. When are we going to see that money?" And I was like, "I think it's in the fucking safe, man. I didn't take it. You know, I didn't take it. You're being a cunt. Everyone here knows you're a cunt. You only got this job because your dad fucking runs the place. Your other brother's a fucking idiot too." Like I was,
Yeah, everyone.
Yes.
because his mum worked there sometimes as well. I was like, "Your mum's a fucking bitch," whatever. Like, I was just like having a go at the whole family, like scorched earth sort of situation. And then he was like, well, I think you should go. And I was like, yeah, I think so. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think I'm going to fucking go. I'm not coming back. Fuck you, whatever. I left, took everything out of my locker and
Including
left.
all the money you
And
stole.
then-
Yeah. Heaps
But
of
then
cash.
immediately was like, I actually do need the job though. What the fuck? What the
No,
fuck? am I
you
gonna do?
didn't. No
fuck
way.
That. You will always find something else.
I
you know what I mean?
found a million other shitty jobs. I've done so many crap jobs.
With that, there's with those fucking basic aid, wage ones. There's heaps of them out there.
So
As soon as
many.
you cop any shit, you're like, fuck off, can't see
yeah,
ya.
yeah. I can't stand it. I don't know what it is, but I just definitely have like a real just below the surface anger for any authority figure.
Oh,
I
really?
fucking hate them. I hate
Is
them.
that why you came 20 minutes late to the podcast?
Yeah, it's just fucking show you up.
He was,
I'm
man, I
like,
could see him
fucking
over there
hell.
as well. He's like just standing out in the sun sweating. It wasn't even comfortable.
Looking at the time, being like, and all right, I'll go in now. I think I've given them enough time.
12:45, they reckon. 1 o'clock it is.
I'll show them.
Has anyone seen my wallet? Fucking
I didn't take it.
Did they try and chase you up for the money? No. They
Okay,
realised.
So they chased me up for something else because I had, and this is where I lose some leverage because I thought I had leverage. Like, fuck you, don't ever treat me like that again. Don't talk to people like that. You're an asshole. Why are you playing mind games? But here's where I lose leverage. I had crashed the van
Damn it.
about 4 months earlier and denied that it was me
Oh.
because a bunch of us were using the van to drive
Yeah, it could have been
around.
anyone.
And I was like, it wasn't me, but it definitely was me. And they chased me up for ages to try and pay it off. Like over a year, I would still get calls from the company being like, yeah, we're just chasing up, we've sent you the bill or whatever to get that panel replaced and it's going to be $5,000 or whatever the fuck it was.
Man, but it's a work vehicle. This is what pisses me off when you do a work vehicle, even with some removals companies. Like, oh, you hit a mirror. I'm like, no. That's your fucking problem. I'm driving. I'm driving your vehicle for you.
Very
Yeah,
badly,
Yeah,
might I add.
very badly. Yeah,
Driving
into a
very
tree. And also I'm showing it no respect because it's not mine.
Well,
Like, why do I have to
totally.
pay for that?
Oh my God, yeah. I
So
know.
if Qantas, they fucking crash a plane or something. It's like, you actually owe us $1 billion for this new fucking plane. Bad example, but same fucking thread.
Did you, those guys in Korea who just crashed the plane and killed everyone, they'd have to pay that back for
Yes.
sure.
Do you reckon they do?
Definitely,
Yeah,
yeah.
for
I've
sure,
come to
dude.
the family now. So, did you pay that? No, you
No,
never
I
paid
didn't
it. Thank
pay it
God.
back.
Phew.
No.
Oh
Didn't
my
pay it
God. Imagine that would have been such an embarrassing
And
fall
that's
from
another
grace.
one of those jobs. I was there for a year, and again, like most of that's gone from my memory because it was just the most
Yeah.
boring fucking. And I hated the boss, and I've just had so many of those jobs.
But now you never have to do any of those jobs ever again because you're a big wig comedian.
Oh God, I mean, fuck, it could all. Who knows? I could be telemarketing in a year.
Well, Gina Reinhart wants you dead, so that's for sure. You
Yeah,
are
true.
ruined.
Sure,
so
I'm
what
done.
if the gig in Western Australia wasn't your worst ever gig? Because it can't have been. Didn't sound that bad.
It wasn't that bad. It was just embarrassing at the end.
What's your
Yeah,
worst one
because
you've
you're
ever
being
had?
you're being roused on
Yeah.
in front of everyone. Don't do that. Okay, in front of all the cool
I mean,
miners.
that was the worst part. Was like
yeah,
that.
it's embarrassing.
And then I was also kind of pushing back on him because I couldn't help it.
trying to keep the mood light. Yeah,
'cause
I'll
he's
do
like,
Wonderwall.
Come on, mate, that's enough. And I was like, we're all adults. Come on, we can all. Come on, who's having a good time and stuff like
You're still
that.
trying
they
to
all-
win the crowd.
And
Yeah.
did they
Caesar
cheer?
said, no, brother. He's put the thumb down. You're like, actually, I think everyone's having fun.
Worst gig I've ever done. I mean, it's been a long time since there's been a really, really, really bad one. But early days comedy, like first year or so, did a gig at a backpackers bar in Manly, which is
Wait, I think I-
really fucking the boat shed. Have you ever done
Manly
that?
Boat Shed. Yeah,
Yeah.
downstairs.
Downstairs,
Fuck, I've had some awful ones
Terrible,
there, dude.
Terrible
Soul
gig.
from your body.
Because it's one of those bars where you get off stage and you're like, what? Like, was anyone listening? Everyone was staring at me, but why weren't they laughing?
the
and then
boat
you find
shed,
out they're
it's
all
like-
from Sweden.
Yeah,
and
they don't
stuff.
speak
Like, they don't
English.
speak
It's
English.
like the Manly Boat Shed. I was like, oh, this will be the ocean. It'll be big and it's nice. It's like downstairs.
Yeah.
There's no fucking boats.
windows.
No windows. You're
No.
like, what the fuck is this?
It's truly like a little basement underneath a bar, and it's
Is
horrific.
that still running?
No, thank
Oh,
God.
good. I used to give them wrong tax details and take
Oh,
the
yeah.
cash.
That was the good thing about it was
They're like,
you
what's
got
your
cash.
ABN? I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
well,
yeah.
I'm like 739.
Yeah, and you got long sets there, but so I was hosting, and Greg Fleet was headlining, and a guy called Rash Ryder was
Oh,
doing
yeah, I
the
remember
feature.
Rash, yep.
Have you ever encountered Rash?
No.
He's
No. I haven't. But
Lovely
the
guy.
name Rash sounds like something Greg Fleet has. So I see why they work together.
Rash. These like both lovely guys, but neither of them wanted to be there. And Rash was supposed to do like 10 minutes, then bring him on. He would do 20 and then I'd bring Fleety on. But when we got there, Rash looked around at the gig and was like, fuck this. I want to go home. I don't want to be here. I'm going up now. And he just walked on stage.
Before you've introduced him.
The MC has gone on.
Insane.
That fucking, what a power move, dude.
And like the mic's off and he's like, turn it on, turn the mic on, turn the mic on, turn the light on.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Pretty good energy. Come on. Let's go.
All right.
Let's go.
Blah, 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 blah. And he did like his 20 minutes just cold and then just walked off stage and walked out the door and was gone. And then I was freaking out. I was pretty new and I was like, I've got to MC, I guess. So I went on and did way longer than I needed to do. Like,
To how many people?
to like 15 people.
Okay, yep.
Like I did maybe 20 minutes or whatever. I probably could have just brought Fleety on, but I was on for so long trying to do crowd work. And what's your name? Amazing. Great. And how do you guys know each other?
Yeah.
Cool. And does this table know this table? Oh, this table is strangers. You don't know them. Do you want to know them? These guys, they introduce you like just all the most...
He's an accountant.
Yeah,
Did you do their tax? Oh,
how about on the back? How are you guys up the back? Like, too needy, trying to get any vibe going.
They're like,
Nothing's
bring
happening.
back Rash.
And he was just angrily yelling at them. They weren't laughing. And then I'm trying too hard for their approval and they're just not into it. And then there was a lady up the front, this older lady, and she just went, stop. This is bad.
Oh.
And I just went, I know. I was like, I know it's bad. I fucking know.
I'm standing here trying to fix it, dude.
I hate it.
I hate this.
I know it's bad. I know the whole night's bad. I'm just going to bring him on. But I can't bring him on because I want to get you guys pumped. I stayed on even longer. And then when I got off Fleet, he was just like, I was a wreck. And when I got off Fleet, he was like, oh man, let's go and have a beer and I'll tell you every bad gig story I've ever done.
Okay,
and that
that's
really
nice.
fucking brought me back down because I was so like, I was a wreck at how bad it
Yeah.
was. But then Fleety was like, all right, I'm going to tell you like 10 terrible gig stories from the last 20
Oh,
years.
that's
And
great.
That was awesome. I
That's
love it.
beautiful.
But it's been a while since I've had like a real rough one.
Do you reckon you felt more terrified because you knew Greg Fleet was standing at the back? Because-
Probably.
Yeah.
That was probably a big part of it. I never met him and I was new and I probably shouldn't have been hosting, let alone...
Well, Rashi was.
in most-
Anyway.
Yeah, he was technically the host.
Dude,
He just
I
left.
did it.
no one believed in you at all.
Like, who's this fucking guy? We just got yelled
Why
at by a man for 20 minutes. Now this guy's up here trying to make us all friends.
Man, I did a little theatre one for, it was Judith Lucy was headlining and I was MC. And
Oh,
she had
wow.
a show, it was Judith Lucy versus Men.
Oh, yeah.
Was a show, but that wasn't for that. And I MC'd, it was Kirsty Webeck and it was a very feminist lineup or whatever. And I was MCing and I went out and died in the theatre for like not one laugh. And then one lady whispered to the other, was like, is that the sound guy? Because I just wear all black.
God.
And she thought I was doing a long sound check. And then, and I was like, I couldn't get him back.
Oh, my
no,
God.
and then I had to go back. I was like, I have to be back in the second bracket. I know you guys will love that. And the only
Oh,
saving
God.
grace was like, I was like, because Judith Lucy's my fucking number one.
Yeah.
And I was like, she wasn't there. Thank fuck. And then I went to the green room and I was like, oh, they're fucking hating me. And I was like, thank God you didn't see that. And she goes, oh no, I was in the audience. And I was like, oh. just nothing. Crowd work, just like stone walled.
Oh.
It was like active silence. Like they had a team meeting. Like, let's fuck this guy.
That's so brutal. Oh, my God. When was that?
But the worst, it was like maybe 5 years ago.
That would never happen now.
Nah, it was fucking.
Once
What do
it's
you mean
happened once,
silence?
you'll never. Once it's happened once, you can like work
Oh.
it. Surely.
But
There
this was
are-
when I was like, I was getting, I was getting stuff. I wasn't bad at it, you know what I mean? But just like, fucking nut.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Or I think one of the worst problems I've had with silence was real estate agents in the Gold Coast.
Oh, I know the one upstairs.
Yeah, upstairs.
Yeah, I walked that gig. I went, fuck that.
Was
I'm
that
not
a
doing it.
corporate
Yeah.
gig or was it a? gig
Yeah.
gig?
Oh, you're paid $500 to do, I think,
Right.
20 minutes of comedy to the most horrible people on the planet, and they hated me. And I was like, okay. And then I turned after about, I don't know, 12 or 13 minutes, I'd turn the guy, like the weasel guy who was like organising it. He was hiding behind one of the signs and he just went, just wrap it up. Just wrap it up. And I was like, happily.
Is that the one of the clear glass thing
I
upstairs?
don't know, Avery, yeah, maybe I think so.
Yeah.
And then as I was walking, I had to stand at the lift I pressed the button, have to go back down. There were all the people getting up and like going to go down to have, I don't know, their ice pipe. And so we were waiting at the lift, and then you could tell they wanted to talk about how awful the comedy was. And I was like, I just
because
wanted
it's
to
a
be
big
like,
lift down. You got to wait in a group. Yeah, I've done this one.
And then this man, he started talking, but he was like, yeah, so Christ, she hated her husband. And then everyone kind of looked at him, looked at me, and I went, I don't actually. They're just jokes. And then someone was like, were they? And I was like, let me out of here, let me out of here.
That same one, I walked.
bucks.
I didn't do it because
They're awful.
They had a stage mic, a mic, like a lectern. I said, man, there's
yeah.
no light, there's no stage, and there's a lectern mic.
Yeah.
He goes, yeah, that's all we got. And I said, nah, man, I'm out. He's like, what? And I said, nah, we're all good. No one wants this. Keep the money.
And
whatever.
they don't.
Went
And they
down,
didn't
and then
want
he
it.
rang who booked me and went, and he was drinking before the show. I was like, you gave me one beer when I rocked up.
Yeah.
That's the only beer I had. And then I was like, I didn't do it. He walked a fucking gig. I'm not paying him. I was like, right, send me his number. And I fucking rang that cunt. And I was like, listen here, cunt, you're fucking paying the invoice. Otherwise, I'm back in the Gold Coast in fucking 2 weeks. I'll fucking see you. I went nuts at him. He's like, are you threatening me? I'm all I was like, it's not a threat, mate. It's not a threat.
So
Just let you know what's happening. Not a threat. And he,
It's a warning.
yeah, it's a warning. I'm a lawyer. I think I said the best one. I was like, yeah, mate, we're all lawyers. Full psychotic cunt at him. I'm just screaming at him at this gig before cans. I said, man,
He paid?
He paid half. I said, yep, that's fair.
Yeah.
But is
Fucking
it?
threatened the
He paid
cunt.
half for you not doing the gig.
Yeah.
At all. And like, didn't give him any time to find someone
What
else.
was I worried about? I'm trying to do my full half hour.
I'm singing Wonderwall.
Man, there was three
let
things.
me.
Wireless mic, stage, light. You haven't got any of those three,
Yeah,
then you
yeah.
don't get the comedy. Fuck
Yeah,
ya.
no, that's
We're not
fair.
going to crowd work with a lectern mic that was cutting in and out for the other act.
Picking up the whole lectern. and
Yeah,
walking
we're
around.
walking around with a lectern.
Was there another act? Or
There was
this
a
like
music act beforehand, and he didn't have anything to plug into. So he was like leaning into the lectern with the guitar. And I was like, you've really fucked this for everyone. I was like, man, it's all good. Like, we're all good. Bye. But then, like, he was like, then he rang and talked shit to the book, and I just like, give me his fucking number. I just fucking sprayed the cunt on the phone.
I love that. I love it.
Loved it.
That's
all
so
right,
good.
we've got to leave you there. Cam, where can people find you during the festival?
Well, my Instagram is at I am Cameron James, and all my dates are up there. But I'm everywhere. We're in Adelaide right now.
Correct,
And
yeah.
then there's Canberra, Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane, Newcastle, and I think I'm doing Hobart and Launceston
Hell yeah.
as well.
Love Tassie.
And I can't wait. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Fuck yeah.
What's your new show called?
It's called Broken Records.
Fantastic.
Yeah, bunch of songs, bunch of jokes, bunch of stories, hopefully an ending.
Hell yes.
Yes, there will be.
I know the feeling. But guys, thank you very much. If you're not already on the Patreon, make sure you do so. Jump on, subscribe, help out the podcast wherever you can. Make sure you go see my show, Little Turd. It's touring all the festivals. So is Bronze, which is called Who's Talking.
Well done, Brady.
Thank you. Fucking remembered it. Guys, thank you very much for your support. We'll see you next time. Next to Cam James. You.
Thanks, Cam.
Thanks, guys.
I've been fired from a lot of places. I've been fired from so many places.
I went into the class one day, real bullets, like real bullets.